Hello and welcome to Unit 4 Part 2 video. We'll talk about the angles in a triangle. First things first, we'll talk about something you probably already knew, and that is the sum of the measures of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So that means angle A plus angle B plus angle C add up to equal 180. So if I look at this picture here, the diagram shows the path of a softball in a drill played by 4 players. Find the measure of each numbered angle. So if I want to find angle 1, the measure of angle 1 is equal to 180 minus 43 plus 74, right? Because if it adds up to a total of 180, I can add these two up and subtract from 180. So it's 180 minus 117, and then when I subtract, I get 63 degrees. All right, the next measured angle is measure of angle 2. And remember, angle 1 and angle 2 are right angles. I mean, not right angles, or sorry, vertical angles. So we know vertical angles are equal. So measure of angle 2 is also equal to 63 degrees. And since these lines are parallel, I know that 74, I know that, scratch that. So I have two angles of the triangle, right? I have 79 and 63. So the measure of angle 3 is equal to 180 minus 79 plus 63. So 79 plus 63 is 142. So 180 minus 142 is equal to 38. So the measure of angle 3 is 38. So here the same thing. So you can do this. I'll give you a moment and then I'll go. All right, so go ahead and check your answers for number 14. Basically the same process as number 13. All right, so next talk about an auxiliary line. And an auxiliary line is a line that's added to a diagram to help solve a problem. So for example, if I added an auxiliary line to this triangle here, like this, I create what's called an exterior angle. All right, and an exterior angle in a triangle is one that's outside the triangle. And there's something that you can know about an exterior angle. Well, we know a couple things. Number one, we know that, let's say the exterior angle was equal to 105. So that means the interior angle right next to it is supplementary, which would be 75. And that means that between these two, between like x and y here, that x plus y has to equal 105 because there's 180 degrees in a triangle. So that leads us to the exterior angle theorem, which says the measure of an exterior angle of a triangle is equal to the measure of the two remote interior angles combined. So here you have the two remote interior angles, and the sum of an exterior angle is equal, or sorry, the exterior angle is equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. So here's how it works with some problems. So for example, number 15, 2x minus 48 is an exterior angle in a triangle. It's outside, and here you have the two remote interiors. So 2x minus 48 is equal to x plus 32. You add 48. So x is equal to 80. All right, so now same thing here with number 16. I'll let you take a crack at it and then we'll go over the answers. All right, so if you look at number 16, the exterior angle is 3x plus 10. The two remote interior are x and 90. So you add them together and you get x equals 40, but then it asks for the measure of angle ACD, which is 3x plus 10. So you put the x back in to get 130. On the other one, I solved for x, but then I forgot to find the measure of FLW, which was 2x minus 48. So you just substitute the 80 in. All right. So some triangle sum corollaries, meaning what things that come from the triangle angle sum, and that are three things. Acute triangles of a right triangle are acute angles, meaning that if you have a right triangle, then the other two angles, angle A here and angle B, have to be complementary. All right, because if this is 90, then these two have to add up to 90. And there can be at most one right or obtuse angle in a triangle. And we talked about that when we were classifying triangles. Because if they add up to 180, then you can only have one right angle or one obtuse angle in a triangle. All right, so next we're going to look at some pictures and we're going to find the measure of some numbers here based on the picture. So for example here, the measure of angle 1, well, here's an exterior angle of a triangle and here's the two remote interiors, so 48 plus 56 is equal to 104 degrees. The measure of angle 2, well, since 1 is 104, angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary, so 180 minus 104 is equal to 76 degrees. The measure of angle 3, all right, well, angle 3, if you notice here, a couple things that you could do. Number one, if this is a right angle here, you know that this is a right angle, so angle 3 has to be 90 minus 48, which is 42 degrees. And then angle 4, to find angle 4, you would take, since you have a big triangle here, you have the big triangle right here, you would take 180 minus 42 plus 90, because this angle here is 90. So it's 180 minus 132. So angle 4 is equal to 48 degrees. And then angle 5, you could do the same thing, except it's 180 minus 90 plus 41. So 180 minus 131, which is 49 degrees. All right, so the next one, the measure of angle 1, you have the two remote interiors, so it's 75 plus 40, which is equal to 115. Measure of angle 2, if you notice for angle 2, here, 75 is a vertical angle here. And then you have a right angle, so this is 33, this part. So in this small triangle, angle 2 is 180 minus 75 plus 33. So it's 180 minus 108. So it's equal to 72 degrees. And then for angle 3, well, this is a right angle and part of it's 90 or part of it's 33. So it's 90 minus 33, which is 57 degrees. The measure of angle 4 is 180 minus 72 plus 90. So it's equal to 180 minus 162, which is 18 degrees. And then angle 5, 18 degrees here. Well, angle 5, if you look at the triangle, couple things. Angle 3 is 57, so let's write that in. So if you look at the triangle here, angle 5 would be supplementary to 58. You could do that, or you could say it's the sum of the two remote interior of this bigger triangle here, which means 57 plus 65 here. So either way, so if we go 180 minus 58, we get 122. All right, so the last one here, the measure of angle 1, well, we could go 180 minus 45 plus 85. So 180 minus 120, actually 130. So it's 50 degrees. Angle 2 is a vertical angle, so it's also 50 degrees. Angle 3, well, here's the exterior angle. So 135 equals 50 plus the measure of angle 3. So that means if I subtract 50, I get 85 degrees, which is the measure of angle 3. And since 135 is supplementary to angle 4, so 180 minus 135 is 45 degrees. And then the measure of angle 5 is equal to 45 plus 75, which is 120 degrees. All right, so that concludes our video on the measure of angles, angle measure in a triangle, and have a good evening. Part 3 coming soon.